You are welcome. Thank you so much for being there with us. We appreciate you. It is a good day here. It is a good feeling. We are continuing with our topic in service mentality, where we relate with people, talk to people, serve people, do work with people, and the best attitudes that we should have. We talked about what you need to have as a good customer care agent, representative, or customer care personnel. And we are continuing with our topic, which is the 7 sins, the sins in customer care, the sins that we should avoid when we are dealing with people, the things that are forbidden for that matter, the things that we should not touch. You know, when you tell a child, don't touch, this one, don't touch when you're dealing with people. And today, this is another important topic. It's called avoid working like a robot. Don't be a robot, in other words. It's a sin for you as a human being to act like a robot, to act like a machine, to act like you were set and, you know, you are supposed to go in this direction only. Avoid working like a robot. That is what we are going to talk about. It is a sin for you to present your service or to do your work like a machine. It is not good in customer care. My name is Joy. You are welcome. Now, when we talk about working like a robot, this is what basically it is. You work like you are perfect. You seem like you don't err, you don't turn, you are fixed to do certain things. You are in a straight line. There is no interfering in your program. You are so accurate. You look like you are so perfect. You know, you are wired in a way that someone can want to ask, is this person doing this normal, or they brought a machine to answer or to do things? In other words, people who work like that, by the way, they are effective, they are perfect, they know what they are doing, they are principled, but it is not a good gesture, it is not a good attitude towards the people you are working with or you are serving when you work like that. You work like it's automatic. In customer service, it is wrong to have that kind of element, because remember, when people walk to you, they expect warmth, they expect life. Where there is life, there are things that will not be automatic. Where there is life, there is growth, and as you grow, you cannot, you know, be a machine. When people are relating with people, they expect communication, they expect feedback. But if you are working like a robot, then there is no feedback. Sorry. Sometimes you get so used to the system that you become the system. Now, if you're working with people, you cannot be a system. You just use the system, but don't become the system itself. In other words, avoid becoming like a machine when you are in a place to serve people. You know, it is good to follow the principles. It is good to follow the rules and regulations, like we talked about hanging on the rule book. But it is not good for you to work like you are the computer. Like, you know, computers cannot speak, they cannot relate. So you're seated behind the computer, not to work like the computer, but to work with the computer so that you produce the results. I hope someone is getting what I'm saying. But sometimes, especially when you are sometimes when you are hired, then they give you these gadgets, you're using the gadget and you kind of become the gadget. You are so hard like the gadget itself. You don't smile, you don't turn around, you don't greet, you don't, you know, you don't have feelings, you don't relate, you don't interact. Hey, in customer service, that is abomination. In fact, there is something I read. Let me just read it to you the way it is. It said that you stop to function in customer service in a normal way if you're working like a robot. Because a robot is a machine. It has been programmed. Like at such a time, it goes this direction. No, we are not robots. That is why even when you like say you are filling in an email, sometimes when you're doing things on your phone, the gadget will ask, am I working with a robot? Prove you're not. So even you, when you're dealing with people, prove you are not a robot by having a relationship with people, by going beyond the rules, by going beyond the desk, by moving out of that office and you come to the reception, by coming out from the pulpit and also interact with your congregation, by relating with the different types of people. Robots can be fashioned in a way that if they are supposed to shoot, they will shoot. They don't care whether they are shooting at a child or an adult. Now, you can't be a robot. You're not there to work like that. You are there to gauge and see that even if they told me that these bullets should go out to people who are disobedient, if it is a child, I'll not use a bullet. I'll use another thing. I will try to engage. So robots cannot assess and say, no, I think otherwise. Don't be a robot when you're at that place. Don't be a robot at that gate. Don't be a robot in that shop. Don't be a robot on that pulpit. Don't be a robot when you're dealing with people. Be yourself. Be real. Be human. Put yourself in this person's shoes. Walk out and do the unexpected, Don't be so obvious. Robots are obvious. They will take you in their direction because that is what they have been fashioned to do. They cannot be diverted, Even when you call, let's say, customer care, Today, some customer cares have been replaced with automatic machines to answer you. Now, you cannot have a conversation with an answering machine. It's a robot. It has been tuned. Sometime back, there was a thing that was moving around on social media where someone called a call center and the machine is answering. You don't have enough credit, and this person is insisting, but I'm trying to call. The machine will not give you attention. Now, sometimes we human beings are also acting like we are robots. Someone is saying, help me. I am late, but I need your service. And you are like a robot and saying, we have closed. I don't care. That time is past. They told me. We don't do things like that. You're acting like a robot. Don't be a robot in service mentality. People are not attracted to robots. People are not interested in having a relationship with a machine. People are interested in having a relationship with fellow human beings. So if you're going to be an attraction, if you're going to serve people passionately, if you're going to reach out to people, if you're going to connect with people, if God has given you an opportunity to stand in an audience or to relate with a one-on-one or to talk to someone, don't act like a robot. Get out of your circle, your cave, and reach out, hold them, pull them to your side, relate with them, and you will have such a great audience if you want people to come to you. Now, robots are not creative, so don't work like a robot. In customer care, we must be creative at all times. We must be innovative. We must be people who connect with new ideas. Robots are stationed to do what they have been stationed to do. You as a customer care representative, you as a child of God, God has given you a mind. God has given you wisdom. God has given you knowledge. God has given you a will to be able to go out there and reach out and be creative. So if you're going to relate with people, it is a sin for you to remain operating like a machine. It is an abomination for you to be stuck in your program. You are not programmed. Don't be stiff-necked. The children of Israel at some time, the Bible says they were stiff-necked. And when you're stiff-necked, it's hard to work with you. Now, as a person leading people or as a person working with people, don't be stiff-necked. Sometimes they are telling you, can we change and do this? And you're stiff-necked. You're like, I insist on my way. I am a robot. You are not a robot. You are a human being. Come on, be flexible. be adaptive, be empathetic, be real, be yourself. You know, at some point when Jesus rose from the dead, I'll conclude with that story. When Jesus rose from the dead, people did not believe it was him. And interestingly, even the disciples, among them was one who said, "Are you sure? Me, I didn't see him properly. I want to touch him. We could be dealing with a robot here." So Thomas said, "Me, I have to touch, I have to feel, I have to relate, I have to talk, I have to hear the voice, I have to see his eyes, I have to touch in his palms, I have to see that he is human." So when people are connected to you, they want to know who are you. They want to touch your hands. They want to feel your pulse. They want to relate with you. They want to see you speak. They want to see you walk. They want to see you reach out to them. They want to see you walk this journey with them. They want to feel you. They want to know your story. They want you to be real and tell them, "I have been there." Because only robots do not have experiences. Human beings have experiences. They want to relate with you. So you did not come from heaven and fall down. There are things you have walked in life. There are experiences. There are challenges. So you cannot just wake up and say, "For me, this is how I was made." No, people want to know and walk the journey with you. Then they'll be able to connect with you, relate with you, and you can't imagine the audience that you'll have. You can't imagine the testimony they'll be talking about you. You can't imagine the number of customers that will be attracted to your real service. If you are real to people, they'll be real to you and they'll connect to you in a way that you least expect. What am I talking about? Robots and robotic service is not good in customer care. It is a sin. Lastly, robots cannot monitor performance. Yeah, robots cannot pause and say, "I think I've left something behind. Let me pick it up." Because they are tuned to move. They are tuned in a certain angle. But us as customer care representatives, us as service providers, we must be able to pause at a certain angle, stand in the center and find out, am I still making profit? Am I still having people? Are people still interested in what I'm doing? Am I able to pull a crowd? Am I losing it? Am I having it? Yeah, even Jesus had a moment like that. You know, at some point he said, "If you're going to follow me, my body is bread you can eat, and my blood you can drink." And these people, the many who were following him, said, "We don't understand what you're saying," and they walked off from him. And in John chapter 6, verse 66 and so forth, he says to the remaining ones and said, "Do you also want to go in?" Because he's human, he's not a robot. He knew he had to get these remaining ones to be either they are with him or they are not. So he had a checkpoint. Robots don't have a checkpoint. They cannot pause and say, "Am I with the people?" Now, if you're going to serve people, you must have a checkpoint. You must stand at a crossroad and find out, are the people I'm leading still with me? Am I moving forward? Do I have people around me? Or I'm in my thing alone? Are the people I'm leading worship still going on with me? There are people you're leading people and you're alone in your own world. You're lost, and for you, you've gone to heaven and you're singing, and the rest of the people are like, "What is she saying? Where are we?" It means you're working like a robot. Come on, child of God. If you're going to have results in service mentality, if you're going to have people being pulled to your side, work like a human being. Work like you have feelings. Work like you are normal. Don't be automatic. Otherwise, the robots are waiting to take on your job. I hope you got something today. Thank you for following. I love you, and you are blessed. My name is Joy.